Hello, everybody, and welcome to the June 20th, 2018 edition of the Ephrom Josine Show. I am your host, Ephrom Josine. First off, there's been a lot of controversy in the news recently about how Donald Trump and ICE are apparently separating kids from their families at the borders, and how they're acting like the American Gestapo, which, can I just say, why would immigrants come here if ICE was acting like the American Gestapo? I mean, I don't recall many Jews going into Nazi Germany, the place with the literal Gestapo. Laura Bush even wrote a piece for the Washington Post, which, on a side note, is written by billionaire Jeff Bezos, or owned by billionaire Jeff Bezos, one of the richest men in the world, and Laura Bush is literally the husband of George W. Bush, who spent his entire presidency basically stuffing his pockets. But no, these are the saviors of the common man now. Ivory Tower or something more is all I'm asking. But anyway, so Donald Trump saw this, and he actually reversed that policy, so now parents will be kept with their children. And can I just say, honestly, I don't care either way. Okay, I don't care when a parent is separated from their... I actually support children being separated from criminals. I think that's kind of the point of a lot of things, like child services. I don't want criminals to raise kids. But if you're going to keep them together, okay, I guess that's fine. I'll give him credit for not screwing that up. I actually will say, Donald Trump has been surprising me a little as of lately. I like what he did with the North Korea thing. He didn't bring us to war. What he did was a little goofy. He had, that movie trailer. But I'll take a goofy movie trailer over war any day. His economic policy is still a disaster. He's just doing constant deregulation, constant tax cuts for the rich, tax increases for the poor. On foreign, he's still bombing 8 different countries. He actually added Niger to that list. He did all this. I think so far he's still a failing president, but definitely less failing now. Anyway, I, like many Americans, am very worried about the debt. However, luckily for me, Stuart Varney, a pretentious host over at Fox Business, which is like Fox News' libertarian tumor, went on his show and explained how we can reduce the deficit. Now, mind you, Stuart Varney, okay, I'll stop, was also for the tax cuts Donald Trump did, and for increasing military spending. And, again, when we created the Space Force, do you think at that point we can maybe say, okay, we've spent enough, we don't need any more? I mean, the Pentagon has said on several occasions, we don't need all the tanks, no more tanks. What does the United States, what does the military-industrial complex always do? They need more tanks. Stewart also brought a Republican congressman from Arizona's 5th District named Andy Biggs. Take a wild guess which positions he supported. In case you're wondering, Andy Biggs is also so concerned about the national debt. On his website, he actually has the debt. I'm not joking. I can't actually tell if you're seeing that. I'm going to try and... Those numbers below, that's the debt clock. That's how concerned Andy Biggs is. But luckily, Stuart Varney actually has a real plan to deal with the deficit. Not raise taxes on the rich, not cut military spending, but get rid of the programs that actually help people. And, okay, that's a little bit unfair. Corporations cannot collect Medicare, and I guess they are people. You know what I mean. As Varney actually encourages, quote, inflicting pain. to get rid of the deficit by cutting Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and all the other safety net programs that, may I remind you, people have paid into their entire life. What's it like getting rid of something you've paid into? I think that's, what's that called? Theft? I think that's called theft. And now for some sad news. You see, this show is done Monday through Thursday. Because of that, we will be unable to do any shows live from Andy Bigg's Freedom Friday. This Freedom Friday will be dedicated to protecting the Second Amendment rights of knife owners. What? In some jurisdictions, possessing an automatic knife is perfectly legal. In others, it is a serious crime. This situation obviously causes great uncertainty for knife owners who wish to travel across the country. There are large constitutional issues to consider as well. If gun owners are allowed, on Second Amendment grounds, to transport legally possessed firearms from state to state. Are they? I don't know if that's true. Shouldn't knife owners be granted the same right? I strongly believe that Second Amendment, he didn't put the, by the way, he put that Second Amendment. That Second Amendment, ha 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 ha. He's a congressman, by the way, and the former president of the Arizona Senate. Protections are expansive enough to cover owners of automatic knives, and that much of demonization of automatic knives is a result of the tired Hollywood stereotype of dangerous switchblades. Those poor switchblade owners. And here's an image he put, by the way, on it. This is on regulations. The annual cost of federal regulations and intervention to America in 2016 was $1.9 trillion. Citation needed, and even then, which regulations? Because most of those regulations were put there because someone was getting screwed. That's just an objective fact. When considered as a hidden tax, it's a weird thing to consider it as. The cost of federal regulation amounts to nearly $15,000 per U.S. household each year. Again, citation needed for that. If it were a country, U.S. federal regulation would be the world's seventh. How would you calculate that? Would be the world's 7th largest economy. That sounds like a pretty good thing to me. I mean, California is the 6th largest, right? In 2016, Congress enacted 214 laws, while federal agencies issued 3,853 regulations. This breaks down to 118 rules for every, or for 18, not 118, rules for every law enacted. Not rules. Guys, I'm scared. President Obama issued 685 major rules during his term, compared with President Bush's 505. Yeah, because we kind of had a great recession as a result of deregulation. Anyway, that's it. I ended up spending more time on this guy than I wanted to. That's it. I'm Ephrom, and good night.